welcome to T-Sport Bernau. Today's video we are going to do a full workshop tour. So this has been our home now for around 8 years, so even before we sort of founded the team we've been here. Outside we have the tent which we store the sort of race hauler in, just to keep the weather off it, and especially now with the wind, the snow was the other day, so it just keeps the weather off it and then keeps everything like sort of warm and dry. And then we will go inside now and we will show you everything that goes on inside the workshop. So on this side we have the toilets and then kitchen, nice and small kitchen, and then in here is Melly's office. So here's like where most of the sort of hard work is done, especially when it comes to the partners. So Mel keeps on top of everything in here, and then we'll go upstairs to my office. So up here we got sort of some collectibles which we got, and then all the sort of race t-shirts which we have over the few years. So René Reiner, Ollie James, Egon Algauer, and then Jochen. And then from here is obviously my desk, and then from here you can see out into the workshop where we keep nice and busy with everything else. So now we're downstairs, we have the jet wash. Then this is the machine shop where we keep the forklift. We've got nice quiet compressor, and then inside the machine shop we've got obviously stock. Then we got bandsaw for doing some like prototyping work. Big sort of drop saw. This is when we're cutting like most materials. We try to do a lot of the stuff actually in-house, especially with truck racing. We're always like developing. So it's really expensive if we sort of outsource everything. So we try to do everything ourselves. So all the prototyping, all the development, all the sort of machining. We do certain things, we do sort of outsource, but it's not a lot of stuff. So this is the sort of machine shop, everything's on DRO. Then we got lathe, big rollers, fly press, and box pan folder. So if we're doing like the cab tunnel or stuff like that, we can sort of do everything that way. Then we got a new pillar drill. This was the latest investment. Then obviously welder, GYS welder, the best. Then this is the sort of fabrication table. So we got the linisher on the other side and bench grinder. Then obviously this is sort of the dirty side of it, shall we say. We got a set of rails. These are ready to get turned into a race truck. We are going to take a little bit of time. We've already started one chassis, so once the other chassis has gone for paint, we will then send those over to the fabrication side. Race truck sort of floats around the workshop. It doesn't really have a space where it lives, especially in between sort of off season. We just park the race truck wherever there's space for in the winter. In the summertime it actually parks on this space here, but in the winter when we're building chassis, this is our sort of fabrication jig. It's all bolted to the floor, so there's no twisting in it, and then there's about 0.5 mil discrepancy on the trestles. Then we're just making the cross members at the minute. Then the chassis rails will stand up, and then we'll insert the sort of cross members. Then it'll really start looking like a race truck chassis. A lot of the chassis development is sort of getting done as we sort of build it. So we've got a basic design, but then there's sort of secret things where we're trying to develop while we're sort of producing the chassis itself. Then we got some products. So Teng Tools have sent us some the latest toolboxes for the workshop side. Then we've got 3-4 pallets from PE Automotive. So most of these parts in these boxes, these are going to then help assemble the race truck. So all the nuts and bolts, 99% of these are actually from PE. These are cost a fortune if you were to send them, or if you were to buy them from a nut and bolt shop. So we're really fortunate enough that we've got a partner like PE which can supply us with these parts. Then we've got my toolbox. So this is my sort of workshop one. It's got everything I need inside. So spanners. This is the biggest box that Teng Tools produce. This weighs, I think, 550 kilo with all the tools inside. So, but this sort of stays in the workshop. Then we've got the race truck boxes that we take to each race weekend. That's one, and then the other one's at the back. So that's the fabrication box. So it's got all the drill bits in it, taps, dies, and all the grinders. So that's why that's there while we're building the chassis. It's just quick and easy to grab the stuff. Then most of the sort of tools that we have duplicates of go in that box, and then it sort of helps me work on the race truck, but then onto the car side. So we do have some customer cars which we sort of look after, because we can't afford to live solely off truck racing, so we have to do sort of extra jobs which sort of pays the bills. We do generally motorsport work and classic car work. So this car is in for an ABS fault. The car on top of the ramp is actually one of my private ones, which we're doing an engine conversion on, which has been like this for 5 years. I just don't physically have the time to do it. Then the caterham is from a customer. That's an ex-race car. We're just getting the bonnet painted. That's the last job for that one to be done. And then here at the back, oil cabinet. Then all these toolboxes here, these are car-specific tools. So we've got a lot of engine tools and stuff like that. In this side, then we got some obviously spare parts for the race truck. So we're trying to obviously fill every last part of the workshop up and sort of keep it looking nice. Then we got a spare cab. This was the spare cab for this race truck, but we actually probably end up using that on the new race truck itself. And then on the sort of pallet racking, we got more spare parts. Land Rover. This was, this is a customer's car. This was a full nut bolt rebuild that we did. And then on top of the mezzanine, we have a lot more parts to build the truck, to keep the truck running. Also, there's a lot of development parts upstairs, and then we've got a damper dyno as well. So we sort of maintain all of our own dampers. And yeah, basically we are, I'm going to say, 80%, 90% of the time we are a truck racing team. In the office, it's 100% of the time as a truck racing team. And like I said, we just need to do some certain car work just to keep the bills paid and sort of keep money coming in so we can afford to go truck racing. Truck racing is, from my side, it's one of the greatest championships to be involved in. We're fortunate enough to have partners which sort of help us achieve these dreams. But thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, or if you want some more in-depth sort of views into the workshop, then comment. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.